So yeah, my name is Ademi Kwadile, and yeah, I'm a Mastercard Foundation scholar from the University of Edinburgh, and I'm privileged to have a couple of Mastercard scholars here, who are Angela Sugnen. I hope I pronounced your name well. Nice, nice. All right. Angela is from the prestigious University of Cambridge. Yeah. So, yeah, Hussein also will be joining us. Hussein is from the University of California, that's UC Berkeley in the United States. So, why are we having this call? We want to give back to the community. We've been receiving messages, and you know, this is just a way of giving back and ensuring that also people can get more from from us as well, and also get this opportunity as well. So yeah, I will be introducing Angela. Angela will be introducing herself. So, and then we're going to be talking about the application structure. We're going to be talking about the application requirements, and we're going to be talking about the essay writing, which are quite um, important. So if you have to take notes, please do take notes. Yeah, I'm trying to record, but I can assure you that this record will go a long way, right? I can assure you that. So, but I would advise you to take notes if you have to. So, yeah, that's it. Angela, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Ademiko.
Yeah.
Yeah, so welcome everybody. My name is Angela Sunen. Mastercard scholar at the University of Cambridge. Doing an MPhil in biological sciences, crop science pathway. And yeah, of course, I'm a Mastercard scholar, and it's great to have all of you here. And we don't have so much time, so we're just going to go, straight to the point. So if you have a friend who you feel like needs this, you can, remind them to come on, or you can as well just share the little we're going to be able to share tonight with them after the call. Yeah. So since Oseni isn't here yet, right?
Yeah.
Nico? Yeah.
He's not here yet. So, but I believe he's going to join us. So we just go first.
Okay.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, so I just go ahead and start. So, like Ademiku said earlier, he's a Mastercard scholar at Edinburgh. I'm a Mastercard scholar in Cambridge. So the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, it's available in different universities. In the UK, it's available in Oxford, Cambridge, and Edinburgh. And then it's available in some universities in the US and UBC. Yeah, UBC just reopened in Canada. They closed up earlier because normally the scholarship gives about 10 years to universities, and then I don't they take a break and come back or just fold up. But yeah, UBC just returned, so you can also check them out. So you have to, if you are completely new, maybe you just saw this link, this webinar and decided to join, and you don't already like have a. I know that some people here already maybe are already in the application process or like know the
Mm-hmm.
units they're applying to and stuff like that. But if you don't know, you have to do the research, go online and check out like any of these universities, and every of these universities attainable. I've had people come to me, oh, can you put me through with Edinburgh? I feel like Cambridge is out of reach and all of that stuff. I mean, you can be anywhere. You can be in Berkeley, you can be in anywhere, and being sponsored by Mastercard. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead now and share my my experiences and what it's like applying for the Mastercard Foundation scholarship at Cambridge. Yeah, Hussein is here now. Welcome, Hussein.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll first off talk about the structure of the application if you're applying to Cambridge. The Cambridge app, and by the way, every Mastercard application is unique to the universities. It's not a one thing across all universities. So every scholar, every Mastercard scholar you meet in every university will have like their experiences. And for Cambridge, every scholar will have their experiences because like every scholar was applying to maybe different departments and stuff like that. So unlike Mastercard in maybe in Edinburgh where you have to apply directly just to the scholarship, like to the scholarship as one application, and then once you get through you are in, which is which is not an easy task. For Cambridge it's kind of structured into two. if you go to the website, just go type Mastercard Foundation at Cambridge, you're going to see the link to the website. And if you go there, Mastercard has been kind enough to break the application down, to tell you what you need to do. But I'll still go ahead and say it anyway. So the first thing you need to do is apply to your department. So first off, the goal of Mastercard Foundation, you have to first of all understand what the scholarship is about as per the university you're applying to. For Cambridge, the goal is, to bring, to be able to empower young African leaders, who are going to be able to contribute, to climate resilience in Africa. So the Mastercard Foundation in Cambridge is very, very particular about sustainability and climate change. So first off, you have to, the course you're applying to, has to have a contribution to climate change for Africa, so that's the first thing you're going to. If you go to the website, you see there are a few courses that Mastercard is not sponsoring, like courses and MBAs or courses in finance and stuff like that. And then Mastercard Cambridge is I don't know for the Berkeley, I don't know how it's like there, but it's like it allows you to apply to a very wide range of courses. There are no like selected 10 courses or 5 or 15 courses, so long as your course can meet the goal of Mastercard Foundation. So you are free to apply to any of the courses apart from the finance and the commercial law that is stated on the website. So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to identify the course you're applying to. Go to the website, to the link. There's a link on the website that will redirect you to the university's course directory, and then you check for the course that you're applying to, and then you start. So you first of all, you go through the course. For me, my course is biological science, crop science pathway. So you first of all look at the requirements of your course. If your course, the University of Cambridge, of course, first off, you need to have a language proficiency exam, and you have to score an overall band 7 and band 7 across all sessions. But then I think they require 6.5 in writing or so. No, sorry, reading. Yeah, but you can go through that, and then you have to get your transcripts ready. You have to get your CV ready, and and of course your results, statement of result or certificate, and then you go ahead and apply. So you have to be careful in filling the essays. The essays for applying are peculiar to departments. Definitely, I wouldn't write the same essays with somebody who was applying to maybe public policy, for example. So you have to go ahead first off and fill the essays, and then the prerequisites to, and as you're filling the essays, as you're filling the application dossier, you'll be indicating that you're applying to the Mastercard Foundation. And the perk is, once you indicate you're applying to the Mastercard Foundation, automatically, this is inside information I'm giving you. If you're applying to, if you're already in the process, you see that there's a form to apply for application fee waiver, but you don't have to worry. Once you click you're applying for Mastercard, before you get to the end of your application, it's waived for you. Previously, in my cohort, Mastercard allowed us to apply to 3 courses, and application fee was waived. But this time, application fee is going to be waived for just 1 course. So if you want to apply to multiple courses, the application fee waiver will not apply for all of the courses. So you have to take note of that. And so while you're filling your application dossier, the Mastercard form comes up with her own essays, which is what I'm going to be focusing on tonight. And but you also have to know that if you're applying to Cambridge, the prerequisites for getting called again by Mastercard, it's if you're able to get into the university. So you have to put in so much effort into getting into the university first, and then Mastercard comes. But in my cohort, we had an indication form, which was about 2 essays that we wrote. And then when I got in, Mastercard called me again for another written interview. However, I don't know if it's going to be the same thing for people applying now, because the essays the questions I was asked in my second call after I got the offer is the questions that are being asked now on the website. If you're filling the Mastercard for Cambridge already, the essay questions are the essay questions that I was asked to write after I've gotten it. So I don't really know how the dynamics is going to be. And for Mastercard Cambridge, there was no Viva interview. It was just, we had to write essays twice. But there was interview for my department, to get an offer into Cambridge. Yeah, so after I submitted, got interviewed, and that is something you have to work on. Like, anyway, as you progress on every stage, you'd reach out to people or learn, self-learn. There's so much information on YouTube. And I tell you that it's very easy for people who you're reaching out to be able to help you if you've done some level of research. Because it's when you reach out to maybe a scholar, people are so, you don't want to know, like it's overwhelming work. So people like every scholar is so busy. So by the time you reach out to people, with head-on inquiries, it's easier for them to, respond to you than you just being very general about your questions. And yeah, so I'll go to the requirements and the essays. By the way, requirements for getting in, it's one peculiar to your department. You see the requirements for the department, because my experience cannot be for like every other department. But you really, 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 if you have, I was talking with Ademiko earlier, and was saying that you can get a lot of scholarships with low grades, like maybe you graduated with 2.2 from uni, but sometimes there is no joy. Some will have to be really honest, like in piling up rejections. You have to just go through requirements. If you see that like you're not you cannot apply for stuff, it's completely fine. I mean, you just honestly count your losses and go there. Like many other opportunities out there that allow you to come here. I have friends who have gotten fully funded scholarships and they graduated with 2.2 in their undergrad. So you just have to channel your application to where that you can get the best success. Because honestly, every scholar I've spoken to has like a first class, a 2.1, but that shouldn't discourage you, especially if you have so much experience, like maybe work experience or experience.
Tell them that you will finish with first class too on that course like this.
Anyway, that aside, you if you have like good work experience, or if you're watching this and maybe you're not ready to apply, you just prepare yourself, get relevant internships, work experience if you can. If you're Nigerian, you know that NYSC is like a solid avenue for you to do so much volunteering, so much, gathering so much work experiences, because these things, they help your application so much. By the way, I will not forget to talk about the referencing style. Referees for your application in Cambridge is so different. Some scholarships will ask you to submit or upload reference letters. In Cambridge, you have to provide, and it has to be an institutional email of your professor or lecturer or whoever. And it doesn't really matter if the person wasn't be a professor, because one of my referees was a professor and the other one wasn't. He's just doing his PhD. So I got in, so I'm sure that it didn't really count. But yeah, so you have to really give your referees, has to be people who have your time, because I was privileged to see the structure of what they were asking, and it was so much. Like it was like almost as if they were giving them essays to write, because the letters had like headings. They had to write here 100 words, 150 words. So it has to really be somebody who has your interest at heart and who is willing to support your application, because honestly your references can make or mar your application. I remember that you have to get in first to even be considered by the Mastercard scholarship. So getting in, it's very, very important. Yeah, so the Mastercard essays, I'll just go straight to the Mastercard essays. So for the Mastercard in Cambridge, the essays I'll just focus on what's happening now. The first question is for you to briefly write I think they said you guys submit a two-paged essay, summarizing your career goals, telling them how the course you've applied for in Cambridge is going to contribute to climate resilience in Africa, and what you are going to do when you become a scholar, and also when you become an alumni. I think that pretty much sums what the essays are asking. So I've had the opportunity to look at a couple of some of my friends' essays, and I see that people easily mix up their career goals and career history. The question is asking you for your career history, not the goals, not your goals. So you cannot go on and keep telling what you want to do or stuff like that. It's asking for what you've done already. So you have to, in your application, your application to Cambridge, you definitely see where you can express yourself about your career goals and all of that. Because your career goals is asking what you've done, where you are, what you want to do. But the history, it just wants to know like what you've really done. So that's where you go ahead. You first of all mention your motivation. I'm giving this based on the structure how I structured my own essay that got me in. So the first thing you need to do is to like give your motivation for going into that course. Maybe in 2 lines, just give your motivation for going into that course, or your motivation for what you're applying for. Like for me, my course is a biological science and crop science. I'm very passionate about food security, so I opened my essay with what ignited my passion for food security and sustainable agriculture. So I opened that with that, and then I went ahead to talk about how to pursue that passion. I went ahead and got a degree in so and so. And after getting that degree, I've been doing this and this. So that is where all the internships, the relevant internships that you've done, and relevant volunteering, or whatever relevant work experience that you've done, that's where you put in. And honestly, if what you're doing or what you've done is not relevant to what you're applying for, there is no need to mention it. You're just going to bulk up your essay with unnecessary information. So you have to, mention relevant works that you've done. I say relevant because it has to be like connected. And then after that, you round that career history question with, what you want to, intend to do. Just, don't focus at all on what you intend to do. You can just mention it in a line or in a sentence, literally, because your history is, to highlight more on what you've done, where you're coming from.
Okay. Yeah, Angela, thank you so much. You've given so much in just this short time. This short time I'm talking about is about 16 minutes, So yeah, I'm going to be asking you about the questions of the essays, and individually how you're going to how to approach those essay questions.
Okay.
So, but before we go to that, maybe you could just review those questions specifically, like what is your vision? Maybe how Mastercard actually asks those questions. So before we come back to you, I would like to Hussein, are you with us? So I would like to bring on board Hussein to give us a brief. Okay, Hussein is going to introduce himself and.
Yeah, thank you very much, guy. I'm so much happy and glad to be here with you. And I think someone is asking me a question here. Okay. So I'm sorry for coming late. I just got to understand that there is a change in our time here. I woke up and I saw that our time is like 1 hour behind. So my friend just got me aware about that. So I thought it would be happening by next 1 hour. So don't worry. I'm glad to be here. So I'm Hussein Arakoya by name, and I'm currently doing my master's degree program in development engineering at the University of California, Berkeley, United States of America. So, and I'm also privileged to be a Mastercard Foundation Scholar. And as you know, Mastercard Foundation Scholarship is a fully funded scholarship that covers everything. I like to use the word everything. It's so generous to the extent that they take care of you like a baby, take care of your transformation. They will not only just give you the scholarship and leave you on your own to just find your bearing, They will point you to what is really cool for yourself. I would like to ask if I can start talking, but let me just pause for
a minute. So Hussein, I just wanted you to introduce yourself, and so I don't want people to mix it up because Angela is talking about the University of Cambridge specifically. She has mentioned the requirements. She has mentioned part of the things that you can do when you start applying, and what you have to do even before applying. You need to do your research. You need to check out the requirements per department or per program that you're applying for. So, and now she's going to actually talk about the essay questions and how to approach those essay questions, which is quite important. So then I'll come back to you, Hussein. Then you tell us about the requirements for UC Berkeley, that's the University of California in the United States of America, right? So then you're going to talk about the essays as well. And then we talk about Mastercard and the major benefits around Mastercard, which of course is better than all other scholarships.
Every other scholarship. It's the mother of all scholarships.
Yes. Mastercard is the best.
Okay.
You've not gotten Mastercard. You should get Mastercard first.
The Erasmus first.
All right, Angela. So can you just give us the highlights of those questions and
Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, the career go history question I was talking about is actually part of the essays. That's the first thing it asks you to write. But I understand that now it's more or less like you have to write a 2-page thing, but you have to answer your career goals. And then the second question, which is the heart of the question, that is you shouldn't don't spend, because when I was applying, the career goals career history question carried just 100. They said, okay, describe that in 100 words. And then the second question, which was asking how the course you have chosen is going to contribute to solving climate issues in Africa, had 250 words. And then the last part about what is going to be your role when you become a scholar and when you become an alumni. Because when you're a Mastercard scholar, you're a Mastercard scholar for life.
Yes.
So you still have like roles to play even after you become an alumni. But I understand that this year it's like you have to structure everything in a 2-paged document. However, you should give the most of your attention you should give it on the second question, which is how you are going to the course you've chosen is going to contribute to climate resilience in Africa. Don't waste your time talking about so much about the career history and then so much about what you're going to do when you become a scholar, because that middle question, that is what gives you the scholarship. Because Mastercard Cambridge is very, 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 very big on climate resilience. That is the criteria for selection, right? So you can actually structure your essay in this way, even though you're not given room to break it. You can just have it in mind that for your career goal, the history, you're going to make it 100 words, and for your the question of how you're going to contribute, you're going to make it 250 words. And then the last question about your role as a scholar and as an alumni, just make it 100 words. By the time you structure it like that, you see that you've made sense and you've covered the words and you've not exceeded it. That's a very big expo. So now to answer the second question, which is like the main thing. First off, if you cannot figure out, Ademiku said earlier that we are coming here to be very blunt. If you cannot figure out how your course is going to contribute to climate resilience or contribute to solving climate change issues in Africa, don't apply to Cambridge. Don't apply to Mastercard in Cambridge, because that is her goal. That is what she's looking for, for African leaders.
Thank you, Angela. Don't suffer yourself with rejection.
So and then I've had meetings like this where people kept asking me, oh, I don't know how my course is going to. What of people who have courses that don't have connection? The reason for the scholarship is also to help you to think. It's also to help you to think beyond the surface. I have colleagues who are doing masters in data science and machine learning. I don't know what how they told Mastercard that could, help to, contribute to climate change issues, to solving climate change issues. But that means that they challenge themselves, challenge their brains, their thinkings, and we're able to see, beyond surface value. Because Mastercard in Cambridge is looking at an interdisciplinary approach to this issue, which is a very, very bbig issue. People like me were applying to agriculture. I didn't have too much thinking to do, because my life literally revolves around food security and climate change. So it has to revolve, you have to find a connection. So now, how to answer that question? The first thing you have to do is, again, just like you started your career history, in using other words, but you first of all, start, what is your motivation? Why are you even applying for that course in the first place? You can lay out your motivation, and then state what that course does. So the first thing you need to do in answering how your course is going to contribute to climate resilience, number one, is state your motivation for going into that course in the first place. And then what is the course about? What are you coming to Cambridge to do? Now, this is the point where every course on the course directory has like a briefing, where you have briefed the course, like the department has like a summary of what the course is about. So at this time, you've taken your time to read and understand what that course is about, because you may be coming from an MPhil in biological sciences, crop science, and maybe you did crop production or plant health in in your undergrad, and you have to truly understand the scope of what this course is about. So now this is where you bring back that knowledge. After your motivation, then state what that course is about. What are you coming to Cambridge to really do? What is it about? What is all the science, or what are you going to learn? When you are done doing that, after you state what the course is about, then you state the problem. What is the climate problem? that revolves, that is connected to that cause. What is the climate problem? And then when you finish stating the climate problem, then you state how you can use the knowledge that you're getting from that cause to help solve that problem. And then you round up with saying how much you look forward to getting all that knowledge, and how much you're passionate about getting all that knowledge and solving that problem. So you have to be very, very, that are two things that are very important for you to do. Three things first. You first state, your passion, like your motivation for that course. Why did you go into that course in the first place? Number one. And then secondly, what is the course about? What are you coming to Cambridge to do? What are you coming to study? Just give a brief. Know that this is 250 words. I'm just saying that you make sure because that is the heart of the essay. So you should carry a 250. It's not too much. What are you coming to Cambridge to do? What is the course about? Then what is the climate problem? What is that climate change problem? That it's the most closely, linked to that course. And then what is the knowledge from that course that you're going to use to solve that problem? Now have it at the back of your mind that it mustn't be all the knowledge. I mean, I'm doing so much work in the lab, right? I'm not going to use all of that knowledge to solve climate issues or to contribute to climate issues. But there are other aspects of my course. So it must not be all the aspects of your course, that you have to use to contribute to that, to solving this issue. So we'll just make sure you highlight the part of that your course that you can use to solve this issue, and then round up with how enthusiastic you are and how much you look forward to, coming to Cambridge, doing that course, and then taking back that knowledge to help Africa, become a better place by solving these issues. Basically, that is all you need. Just be creative with your words, but make sure that you answer these questions. This question of what is your motivation, what does this course do, what is the climate problem, and how is this course going to help you to solve the problem? That is what Mastercard is looking for. That is they want to see. And please be very passionate with your writing. Don't just throw lines. Sound like you mean it. Say it like you mean it. So yeah, be creative with your writing. And then the last part, which is like very important, one of the major goals of Mastercard Foundation is networking. You see that somehow me, Hosseini, and we don't know ourselves from Adam, like prior to arranging for this meeting. But like Mastercard is very big on networking, right? I resumed 2 weeks earlier before my course started, and these 2 weeks we're having like an orientation with Mastercard, and it was all about network. I got to meet the VC of Cambridge. I got to meet the VC of Oxford. I mean, people are like go through Cambridge and don't get, but so Mastercard is very big on networking. So how to approach that last question? You have to tell Mastercard how much you are willing to network as a scholar, because the things that, apart from studies, just like Hussein said, Mastercard makes sure you come, you settle in. Like right now, scholars in Cambridge were enrolled in the Cambridge Institute for Sustainability Leadership. So when we are done here, we are trained leaders from Cambridge. Aside our certificate, we have a diploma in sustainable leadership, to go with. And all of this is, to train you, to help you network, so you can solve these issues. So it's very important to tell Mastercard that you are going to do all the work, all the networking. You're going to be able to, it's amazing meeting leaders all over Africa. So tell them how passionate you are about meeting the people who are also going to be selected. And then finally, what you're going to do as an alumni. Tell them how much of this connection you're going to use, how much you're going to connect back, with the scholars you met here and other Mastercard scholars in other universities to create projects, that will help Africa as far as climate change is concerned. And then, sorry, I forgot to mention something in how this course is going to help solve these climate issues. Please be, what did they say, Edinburgh people, what do they call this thing? Don't be too general. We just say, I will ensure that, no, just like state it, be specific, be more specific with like, the thing, the exact thing you want to do. Don't be too general that I will make sure that I contribute to. How are you going to contribute? Mm-hmm. State it clearly, so that it has like a vision. It's not so general. It's like, you have a plan, because it will surprise you that now as scholars, Mastercard is already asking, oh, what is your transition plan? They're sending us forms to fill because they are really, really interested to know like what your transition plan is, what you're going to do. So you have to like, there's a word, but I've missed it. I cannot remember what the right word is, but like be clear, like state it, don't just be generic about what you're going to do with that knowledge. Yeah, so pretty much these 3 essays, if you're going to write them, be creative about them with these borders that I have said, then I am pretty sure you'll be able to be a Mastercard scholar next year.
You are a step towards getting to Cambridge, the powerful University of Cambridge. So thank you so much, Angela. Thank you so much. You've actually spoken about so many things, and yeah, it's important. So you've heard Angela speak about being concise with your essays. Don't be generic, and also tell it. You can use your story if you have. But that's I think that's another key point that I would like to add. So if you have experience in the climate change world, then you can actually use it as a point into telling them how much more you want to do and how passionate you are to be solving this problem. And if you do not, then maybe you're even working as a volunteer for an NGO and it's not related to what you're doing, then yeah, use it as a bait or as a storyline to actually catch the attention of the reader. So
yeah. Sorry, I want to quickly answer a question somebody said there about referees. I don't know. I think it's kind of departmental specific. I'm answering Josephine. My department specifically said academic referees. So you have to give academic referees. But if I don't know the course you're applying to, but if it's generic, if they just said referees, you can give professor and work. But just make sure that it's an academic it's an institutional email and the person is going to be available for you. So it's department specific. Mine was very specific. They said academic. Yeah, so I had to do academic. Yeah.
Okay, I think the other questions for Hussein. Okay, yeah, let me just ask, if do you have any question? Does anyone have any question? If you have any questions.
Sorry, I want to answer the question for Rose again on the issue of climate resilience. I'm an undergraduate studying crop sciences. I did crop sciences, by the way, and I'm passionate about food security. I've done work promoting food security and I haven't really done climate resilience. Yeah, it's fine. You can just tell Mastercard how, food security there is no greater, in fact, there is no devil in front of food security right now like climate change. Climate change is the biggest issue we have to deal with if you're talking about food security. So you have everything to talk about. Yeah. And you can even start by talking about the problem of unsustainable agricultural practices, because it's also one of the things you're going to learn in the course. I know for sure you're applying to my course. It's definitely one of the things you're going to learn on the course. So you can talk about how you're going to promote sustainable practices, because unsustainable agricultural practices are one of the highest contributors to climate change. So you have so much to talk about, like so much. So much. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, there's so much to talk about. If we keep on going and on, everyone, you definitely, no matter what field you are, you definitely have something to talk about when it's regarding climate. Thank you so much, Angela, again for that wonderful insights as regards the application process and all of those. So, saying, I would like to. Okay, yeah. Wait, before we even go to saying, does anyone have any question? I can see
a lot of questions in the chat box.
Yeah. So Bolo Asife, can you? Okay, I will be graduating with a 2-2 in agriculture and resource economics, and I took 3 courses on economics and climate change from year 3 to year 5. I've also been taking part in a lot of leadership activity, volunteering and internship. Can I get scholarship too? You can get scholarship. Let me just say, you can get scholarship. But can I get Mastercard Foundation Scholarship? That's the question. So, Angela, can he get Mastercard Foundation Scholarship?
Well, it's very tricky if we are being honest, because
please be honest.
Yeah, but I'm telling you that it's what a shot. It's what a shot for starters, because you have to first of all check the department you're applying to. Does it take 2-2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Mastercard in Cambridge, if you're applying to, I don't know where you intend to apply to, but if you're applying to places like Edinburgh, don't do it. But if you're applying to Cambridge, look at your department. is it going to take you? Because the prerequisites for getting a Mastercard is getting into in Cambridge is getting into Cambridge first. So if your department is going to take you, if you're going to convince them enough with your CV, I mean that one is, I don't think it's something we can talk about on this call. But if you're an applicant by now, you should know that your CV should carry strictly relevant stuff. The stuff that are relevant, you cannot apply with your general CV. Your CV has to carry relevant stuff to what you're applying for. So if you're able to put all of this in your CV and make it look convincing, if your course can take you, Mastercard can take you. But I don't know. It's
just give it a try. Just give it a try. So yeah, we're going to take one question now. Then, because I think all other questions might be generic, then we can take it after.
Yeah, please, you cannot be asking for application timeline on a call like this.
So because we have limited time, we have limited time. So Similoluwa, so we're going to take your question. I hope it's related to University of Cambridge. If not, I'll just advise you to just hold on till the end of the call. So Similoluwa, do you want to unmute yourself, and let's hear you out.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So my question, I asked in the chat box already.
Okay.
What you mentioned referees, how important referees are. So I was wondering, do these referees have to be from your undergraduate department? Because I have referees, but maybe just one is from my department.
Yeah.
The others that have my time that I can bank on, I'll see what they are putting out. They come from other departments.
From other departments?
Yes.
Okay. The thing is that it's very good for your referees to have taught you, or either have taught you or you've worked with them in some capacity, because the questions they are going to be asking them are very specific. They are asking for your capacity or your capabilities, in your course. So it's going to be very tricky if they say, "Oh, I have not taught her," So except you've worked with them, because they'll have to mention, like if you're giving your supervisor, for sure he's going to mention, "Oh, you did like this in your project." And like I mentioned earlier, the referencing style is kind of different. It's not just like a one document. They're asking them, stuff in sessions. Like for my department, anyway, I don't know how it's like for other departments, but I think it's like general. So it's very tricky to have your referees should be either people who have taught you or people you've worked with, if your course is allowing general referees. So it's very tricky, except they can find a way to, incorporate, whatever you've done with them, because the thing is, when you're applying for scholarships, there's no experience that is small. If you've done something with them in any capacity, they can use that, because while they talk about your general academic performance, it's good that chip in, in a place where, they, they've worked with you on a personal level. So yeah.
So Hussein is going to be talking about UC Berkeley and the requirements, what you need. And don't leave, because the information is going to be passing across to is different. And I would like you to know that there are some connections in between it, because Mastercard focuses on some specific things, and maybe you want to apply for the two, or you might even apply for the two. So Angela applied for the two. She got Cambridge. She got Edinburgh. She slid us because because Cambridge has pressurized her. That's fine. So, and you're going to be feeling it too. It's going to be interesting along the line. It's really going to be interesting. Most importantly, when you now finally get it. So without further ado, let me just call on Hussein. Thank you so much. Hussein has introduced himself. He's a scholar from the University of Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, United States of America. So Hussein, please.
I'm Hussein Arakoya. So I'm studying development engineering at UC Berkeley University. And one thing about the scholarship here is that you get nominated by the university, because the acceptance rates at UC Berkeley is very, very low. Less than 7% of all applicants get admitted to UC Berkeley, because it's really competitive to get to UC Berkeley. It's also very much prestigious. UC Berkeley is ranked #1 public university in the world in all standard, engineering, STEM, and even public policy and the likes. And also, the UC Berkeley is ranked 4th in the what's called it in the US, because against I mean be side by side with the private universities, MIT and Harvard. That is the prestige about UC Berkeley. And also, California is very, very much expensive. The amount of money you buy Coca-Cola in California is different from how much you buy it in other states. So, but Mastercard will take all those stuff off you. Even myself, I don't really know the impact of the money because I'm not facing directly. I only see the figures very high. But how difficult it is to bring that money out, I'm not feeling it. And that's the sweet thing about it. And there is a lot of prestige being a Mastercard Foundation Scholar. Despite the fact that even though you have the money to pay for this school, which is expensive, even though you have the money, there's a pride that comes with it, being a scholar. That's just so that's why you have to put in your effort, put in your energy, and listen very well to details. Even myself, applying in 2021, 2022, I have to still calm down in 2023 for my friend who I contacted with, who graduated from Berkeley, to review my essay thoroughly. I'm not joking here. It's about investment and the value of what you have. Overall, for my program, just 1.5 years, 15 months, Mastercard is investing roughly $120,000 US. That's roughly over $1 million naira, 100 million naira into your education. Feeding everything. I couldn't, when I want to maybe like quantify the value, I look at it. How many of my father's land have I sold to get?
I'm telling
you.
Because
that's just the value, and it's really okay for someone to be prepared. I like what Angela said about you shouldn't just be applying just because you want to count a lot of rejection. Be strategic. Out of all the applications I applied to, I didn't even want any one of them, but I just have to apply and show myself. But I'm very much glad that I wasn't selected in all those scholarships. But I applied to Edinburgh, Canada, and the likes. I know the application process is there. So that was my learning stage. I learned all through those ones and focused more on Berkeley because it really aligns with my goal. Do you get it now? So you don't tie your career projection and everything to one particular one and you won't leave them, but you just have them aside like second choice. Have a first choice that really matches your key career projection or what you've been working on. From what Angela said here, she has a high priority for Cambridge. She applied to Edinburgh as well, right? And she also applied to some other ones. But all her energy and her strategy is focused more on the Cambridge because that will mean so much impact in her career now and in the future. Same as mine. Initially, I applied to city planning and civil engineering program in Berkeley. I got admission. I didn't get funding. I have to re-strategize to apply to development engineering at this time because it really matches my current experience and also career projection. So
thank you very much, by the way. And so I just want to go through roughly through these questions here, so that we can use this time so that at least people get very good value for this time. Can you give us a sample essay? I don't have a sample essay to give right now because the thing is that it's very tricky for you to want to get a scholar's essays if you're applying to that school because one, there is a plagiarism. Literally a plagiarism cult that we have joined. And so it's tricky. That's to start with. And it's very easy for you to plagiarize. You may not even understand that you're plagiarizing. You may not even know. It can happen to everybody, even the best people. Once you have a template of somebody who is successful, you are tend to be you're very likely to plagiarize. So it's best that you understand for me, I'm going to have to give the structure of what the Mastercard Foundation essay should look like. I cannot give for department because it's particular to every department. So you just have to sort that out. But for Mastercard, I've gone ahead to give. So you just once you focus your essay on those areas, you're definitely going to be successful. Yao, you said you graduate from Sierra Leone and you've read through the application, you meet all the requirements except the transcript. Can I start the application process and send the transcript later, even if they require single combined documents? So what you can do is you can go to the department and look for the program administrator and send them an email. Right, you can send them an email, but the thing is, it's very tricky if it's transcripts because that is your academic record. If you have your transcript and not your certificates, you can go ahead and apply. But not having transcript at all is very tricky. If you've already graduated, I think you should pursue that because it's very, very crucial for your academic history to be there, for them to see the relevant courses that you've done. However, you can go ahead and go on the website. I don't know the course you're applying for, but if you're applying to biological sciences or plant sciences, go, there's Ian Henderson. You can send an email to Ian or anybody whose email is on the website and ask that question. And do your referees have to be from your undergrad? It depends on your department. Like I said, my department asks for academic referees, so definitely I've not done a master's before, so I definitely give my undergrad people from my undergrads. And what will you advise someone with no background in climate? Then don't apply to Cambridge because Cambridge Mastercard Foundation is focused on climate resilience.
On the home, environment, and assets section, you have 7 different essays. And these essays consist of words of 50 words minimum. 7 of it like that. And the second section, financial circumstances, we have 10 good essays there. So you have 10 good essays to write about and explain yourself thoroughly. Yes. So the way I said, I have a document full of it. So you have that, you have to explain everything thoroughly. And the next section, the community and personal statements, you have just 2 essays there of 250 words each. 250 words each. So you write about your community, and that's how you showcase your desire, your work experience, and how you perceive yourself and your experience over the years. So the last one is the vision for the future essays, and that's only 4 different sessions, and it's like more of 4 different essays that you have to write. And this last section is where the ball game is, So we have like 2 sessions that has like 400 words each, 450 words around that. So when you get there, you see how it is. It's very tricky. You have to put in your energy and explain everything to the best of your ability. Because you'll be asked everything. so I think, and from there, when you now get to maybe submit your essays for the application for the scholarship, Mastercard will receive everything, sit down within a week to 2 weeks. Within a week or 2 weeks, after reading your essays and getting those that really caught their attention and they really wanted to sponsor, they will invite you for an interview. Not every application will be invited for interview. Not all. So when you're invited for the interview, please mark this word. This one is very critical. Don't think you are done. That was my mistake in the first round. In 2021, I did my interview. I watched some videos on YouTube. The lady applied to University of British Columbia in Canada. She said, when you first cross the first stage and you go selected for the interview, it's as if you are done. Just go there and parade. Like just go there and show them what you've written. That's yours. That's like kind of encouragement then as it allowed me to relax a bit. I didn't put in more effort and burn my candles very well. So I know I had a very good essay. I was called for an interview and just go there. Even most people even believe that once you've done your stuff and you're being invited for the interview, you've done everything.
That's where application varies in universities. You shouldn't it's better for you to take word for word. What a Mastercard scholar in in Berkeley telling you. You cannot apply my experience in Cambridge to the University of Berkeley. So because experiences are very particular to the school, so you have to be very careful with that.
Yes. So and I think that is very much specific to school. So I make that mistake and I have to face the brunt of it because I took that I didn't prepare very well like the one I prepared for in this one. 23, I know I prepared. so so when I did that, you'll be invited for the interview. You select your time, please, and also select the best time for yourself. And for those who are in Nigeria, Berkeley we allow you to select a time that is convenient for you. In Nigeria, the best time for you is 5 p.m. Nigerian time, which is around 9 a.m. Berkeley time. Then I made a mistake of selecting 12 midnight Nigerian time. So I've gone to work tired. The stress is still there, lingering and preparing for the stuff. So timing is also a very key important stuff. So so definitely those two things really affected my performance and some other personal stuff like that. So this time around, you have to select the best time for yourself that really matches your preparation. And once you get to the interview, you have to showcase yourself and demonstrate very well. And to be surprising, you think maybe people do not have the money for the application fee. But people do not have the $155. You scare some people away. It's only me that will apply. Okay, you're not the only one though. People will go and borrow lapo money to pay for that to pay for that application fee and get to the interview stage. So you have to prepare and knowing that you are not the only one coming. And the first thing you have to tell your story very well and hit the nail very well and say it over and over again and make sure that they hear your stuff. And for me, I was able to be maybe like I was kind of the first mistake really played a very good role for me this year because in 2021 I was working as a contract staff in the far distance in Yobe State, a conflict region, and now there's a significant difference in my career growth working in Lagos as a senior engineer. So what I want to see is what is really different in your growth over the years. Do you get that now? So and to be surprising, most people that applied to Berkeley with me that was selected, most of them applied just once. So this is not to say that you can't get it once. I have to stress this place too. You can get it just one time. So when you prepare very well, you will not make any mistakes. So with that, once you do your interview very well and you prepare very well, and let me give you an hint about my preparation for the interview. When I was preparing for the interview, and before the interview itself, it was during my application essays for the Mastercard, I put in that preparation. Because once you get that interview, though you before you get to the interview stage, it's really the ball game. Your story must be concise and must be specific. I remember my friend who assisted me in reviewing my essay thoroughly. You get that? So the guy checked everything and asked me tough questions. So you have to ask yourself tough questions to know, are you truly interested in this? Is it what you are talking about? Is there no kind of unclear pattern? Because those you are telling, they are connecting your dots together. So once they're connecting the dots and it's not fitting, it prompts them to have questions. And once the question is too much and they're not clear about your idea, they tend to maybe like regard it so little. And shockingly for me, again, I got to understand when I got here that over 800 people applied to UC Berkeley for the Mastercard Scholarship, and just 20-something get selected. So it's even difficult for them to even select those they're selecting. So which means that you have to showcase that talent very well and work on yourself. And don't be, to me, I will apply, don't be in a haste to apply. Look at what you have. Are you really prepared for this? Is your career growth, aside the money and everything, are you growing with your career. You get that? So once I did that, I got really trained with my essays. On going for the interview, the preparation I did then was understanding the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship very well. What is the core area? What are they looking for? What is their strength in this? Or what is the focus area for that particular country? And I was able to even tie it down to some of the. My friend has to tell me to go check the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship scholars program website itself. It's not from the scholarship for UC Berkeley. It's the overall goal of the whole UC what's called it Mastercard system. Look at the focus area. Is there anything that matches your experience? Then I remember I was working on a project in Lagos State for a food planning project where I was part of the team members that was doing the advisory and planning. I was able to highlight that into my essay. It was that time that I even got to know that the project I was doing in my office here was even funded by the Mastercard Foundation, Mastercard Foundation, Babangoda project, where I was working with a PwC and the likes. You highlight those stuff and key it into it very well, and the difference in your growth. Even though you have a challenge, how do you overcome it? What was so strategy for you? For mine, and that's the main about the scholarship. Everybody is going through one or two things. Are you moving ahead? Are you moving ahead? That's what the challenge is. You're listening to this. Are you taking mentorship? What are the key skills you are doing? Are you taking leadership positions? And what are you learning? Highlighting those stuff really makes you come out and let them see your value, because you already have it. To communicate it and let them see it and creatively showcasing it is the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a difference. Just be research. Even yourself, before you finish your interview or after finishing it, you will know whether you've selected or not.
Okay, thank you so much for saying. So I just want to chip in something for like 3 minutes before Ademiku comes in. So just like Hussein was saying, it's very important for you not to take the experiences of a Mastercard scholar in another university and try to apply it to your own university, to the university you're applying to. It's very, crucial that if you're applying to a specific school, you make sure that you take certain information directly from scholars from that school. And even with that, there is like a little changes that go on, because for me, Mastercard Cambridge were like the second cohort, but first official cohort, because last year it was just like selection. But then, so there are some changes that are being made currently in their application process. So it's it's a little tricky. So just be careful with that. That's one. And secondly, I also want to mention this before this course ends, that there's no experience that you have that is irrelevant, so long as it's like relevant to what you're applying for. You say Hussein, like somebody like Hussein is a big guy who was working, and doing stuff, but you could be here, you're just graduating or you just finished service or stuff like that. The little experiences that you had, if you helped organize, whatever, you can chip that in as your experiences. Because one thing I know is that the Mastercard Foundation is looking to build on the little. So no matter how little, don't water down your experiences and your work experiences, or whatever you did. If you were a class rep,
Yeah.
there is, like, if you were a class rep, there is so much you can do, to tell them that the value you provided for your class, as a rep and stuff like that. So it's very important for you, first off, not to water down, your experiences, and just put yourself out there. Don't limit yourself. Don't hold back and say, oh, maybe that's too small, that looks too stupid. It's the way you tell your story that matters. So just tell your stories in your essays, in your CV, and in your interviews, and wish you all the best.
Yes, I think I want to talk about the references. Yeah, thank you for even bringing that up. So for the references, you have 3 required references for the admission. So it's really advised to have 2 academic references and 1 professional references.
That's for Berkeley.
For Berkeley, yeah. 2 academic references and 1 work experience, either volunteer role or where you work, anywhere. But that should just show them your leadership or your creative ability aside academics. So, and Berkeley and the US is really, and I'm sure for other countries too, are really top on volunteering roles. So if you volunteer before or you have not started volunteering, please start volunteering. It's really add to your credibility and your experience, you see the difference too,
Yeah.
So, and you need to have a lot of story to tell, a lot of events to draw up a lot of stories from, and share your story online. And the reason for this is because for mine, one thing I did again that really makes everything different. I like sharing some strategies, because strategy is about life. One of the strategies I got from my friend is about, once you have mentioned that you did this, and this, don't just tell them by mouth. That showing is not by you painting the picture or let them imagine how it looks. It's about give them a link that for further information, and there's a way you do it that you can you change the hyperlink to a text. It worked for me. I posted it that way, and I am sure they got some click. So they could click it and go and verify it online and see that yes, truly you've done this. And from there, they could even get some further information that you did not even say in your application, and they can access that together to have the overview of who you are and your potentials.
Okay. Thank you, Hussein. So, Ademiku, you can just try to round up now quickly with your Edinburgh, because time is running before you know.
Well, for me, I just gave you guys the floor to do University of Berkeley, University of California, and Cambridge.
Okay, so we'll just take questions, right?
Just take questions. So also, Hussein, I don't know, can you just highlight, are there specific questions that you think you want to highlight that actually counts very well, that you feel like counts really well, like, or even if you can just highlight those questions and just mention, okay, this one, these are the things that you don't have to miss there, then we take questions afterwards.
For me, I think the two major essays sections that really is the community and personal statements essay part. So whether you're asked to describe what communities are important to you, local, city, regional, international, etc. Discuss your role in and contribution to these communities now and in the future. So this is 150 words. You have to be strategic in saying this question is really that one. So the way I answered it was is experience and what you have that has really, and to me I would like advice. If you can see a sample of an essay before, I think that would help. Though for me, I didn't see a sample for Berkeley, but I think I saw a sample of Edinburgh from my friend Canada Labi. So, and I only pick an idea of how is this telling a story. And you heard about this star strategy and like, but for me, I think it's about you painting two scenarios where you face a challenge and how you come about it, how you overcome it. That's just the two storytelling trick. The way they call it. So, and using the stuff, how do you do it? What will happen along the way, and how does it really change you and make you who you are today? So the second essay part here is like describe a challenge or obstacle that you have encountered and how you dealt with it. Maximum 1 words. So here you can address personal hardship or obstacles, but also challenges in your communities, societies, or environment that you have chosen to address. So that's the community and personal statements stage. For the vision for the future, they ask that the Mastercard Foundation's mission is to advance education and financial inclusion to catalyze prosperity in developing countries. That's why the UC Berkeley Mastercard is focused more on developing practice or development practice. Development is really key. And these are the departments that have the highest number of scholars. For my department, we have 4. In development practice, they also have 4. So others have just like 2, 2, 2, 3, or no, 2, 2, 1, 1 like that. So, but they're very key on development engineering and development practice here in Berkeley. So, and development is everything about sustainable development, sustainability, climate change, and the likes, all encompasses like that. So, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, how do you see the transformation of your country over the next 20 years? How do your future work and leadership potential fit into this transformation? Maximum of 400 words. This one is the myth.
Oh, yeah.
They want to bite this one and get who you are. And this one, I just have to thank that my friend that helped me to review. But this place, we spend some kind of quality time here.
Yeah.
So, and the next one under this one is Please specify how you plan to apply the skills and knowledge gained during your professional master's degree upon your return home. Please mention specific institutions, organizations, or companies you have already worked with, might strive to work with, or might create in the future, maximum of 250 words. So this one is also another very key. 250 words. And the third one here, we have, what else should we know about you that is relevant to your application to the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program at the University of California, Berkeley. You may use this space to write something not covered thus far, like that. So this space is just like extra one, and don't leave it blank, please. You have a story to tell. Tell them everyone, make sure that it's really sequential. And the last one is just like your parents' statement, your parents and guidance statements. For me, I didn't need to go and get my parents. I just give them something. My dad is not available to give me stuff. No, just put it up, and you apply to 250 words here too as well. 250 words, 4 essays. So, and it's not the key one. There are some other ones that are up there that you have to answer your family. How many of your siblings are still in school? How many people are you feeding? Things like that, and they require a lot of time and energy. So it's really what it's because of them who invest 100 million in my life. So that's really
okay. Thank you very much. I'm applying for the public health and McGill. Deadline for the Mastercard program the same as the deadline for the master program at the university. Should I apply for both before? Of course, you have to apply before the deadline. Definitely, for sure. If you're applying to Cambridge, the deadline of your course is different from the funding deadline. You have no business with the deadline of your course. Since you're applying to the Mastercard, your deadline is the funding deadline, which I think is on the 4th of January. So you have to be very careful with the deadline thing. You have to be very careful with that. And I want to answer. Okay, sorry. Usman has his hand up.
There's one question. Is there a specific class of degree required? Like first class, second class?
First class, second class, lower. And well, Mastercard Foundation is very keen on excellence. So you have very high chances, of getting in if you have a first class or a 2-1. But you also have to go through the university you're applying to and see the requirements for your department for Cambridge and for Berkeley. Like if you have to apply to the department first. So you have to go and see. So if you can get in your department with whatever class of degree, then of course give it a try. But if you see that the requirement is clearly stated that we're taking, so and so class, and you don't have it, it's just try applying with other funding bodies. And then can we get samples of how to answer these questions? Well, that's at the discretion of the scholars if they are willing to share the samples, because it's a very tricky. Sharing samples is very, very tricky, like I said earlier. Yeah, as resources for reference, I don't quite understand that, but your references, depending on the uni you're applying to, like for him, they said for Berkeley, you could give an academic and professional. Some schools will say 2 academic, or some schools just say, if they just say references, or referees, you can just choose to give academic or work, but just make sure that the work is related to what you're applying for. You cannot give reference because your referees are going to be talking about, what they know about you as regards what you are applying for. Yeah. So please, Osman, please, can you ask your question?
My first question is to you, Angela. So regarding these references from your professors in the department, right? So over the years, these lecturers have experiences recommending students to all kinds of universities for graduate studies. And most of them are good with writing a single recommendation letter and uploading, just as these PhD programs in most schools want.
Yes.
But when it comes to these scholarship applications, it's very tricky. And then honestly, like if I'm being honest, it's very difficult for them because they give them these essays. Like I remember I applied to the McCall-McBain scholarship. And then they were giving them like 6 essays to write about you.
McCall is annoying. I applied for it. I can tell you.
So and from what you were saying, I think Cambridge to the references is kind of following that. Nothing. So my question is there any advice that you would give maybe trying to because
Okay,
And it
yeah, I
might
get your
delay the
question.
submission.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get your question. It's very tricky, like because it's not like something you just write and upload. That is why when I was talking about applying to Cambridge, I said that the main thing we should look out for is that make sure you're putting referees, people who you can talk with, people who are are going to have your time. Unfortunately, there's no way around it. Like they definitely have to give the reference the way the university wants them to give the reference. So you just have to tell them ahead of time and really apologize. Malcolm McBain was very stressful. They asked for like the vice chancellor and all of that. It's not that hectic at McCall, for Cambridge. But yeah, just be sure that if you don't have, that's the thing. If you graduated a long time ago and you don't have like relationship with your professors or your teachers or lecturers, this is time to start creating that relationship. Just call them, check up on them, and please just inform them that, oh please, you intend to do this, and apologize to them ahead of time that please, that it's a little bit complicated. And I'm sure that they would understand, especially if they are have been given this recommendation to students and they've been successful. Most of these lecturers are very, they like it, the fact that they're able to recommend students. And I'm sure some of them feel like it's their recommendations that give you the scholarship. So yeah, but yeah, and of course, the recommendation is very important. So honestly, you have to make sure that whoever you're putting as your referee is somebody who has your time. If you're applying to Cambridge particularly, because the recommendation style is, not so straightforward. And I wanted to answer the question somebody was asking earlier that they graduated 2017 and the gap. It's very important for you to be able to fill in that gap. There shouldn't be like such a long gap between your graduation year and you applying for this.
Let's talk about the years too.
Yeah,
you have an opportunity with that year. Let me give you that. That's the opportunity.
Yeah,
and that's the best way to come like stronger with your application, because you have a long story to tell. So for me, I graduated in 2016. So and my years of experience, I never joke with it. So you have to use that to your advantage. So don't. It's not a gap to me. Just find a way of telling that story over the years. How you
what you've done through that time. Can I go ahead and pay the application fee or stall till Mastercard gets back to me?
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I think
You have
for
to
UC
pay application fee before you even submit the application if you're applying to Berkeley. Right, but for Cambridge, once you indicate that you're applying to Mastercard, your fee is waived, or you go ahead and fill a form. There's a form for application fee waiver. I wanted to say something again that I was talking about.
Yeah, okay. Then let me take this over to ask my second question.
Okay, yes, please.
Sorry, just hold on a bit. There's a question in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, about
sorry.
what?
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to point out that aspect of application fee first of all.
Yeah.
If you think you have time, try and apply for a waiver. All right, try and apply for a waiver. You might get it, because Hussein did not get it, because many people did not get it. Should not shut you out from.
If you're applying to Cambridge anyway, it's automatically waived, so you don't have problems.
So if you're applying for University of Edinburgh, you just have to get Mastercard first, and Mastercard will definitely waive any application fee for you. So it depends on which school you're applying for. All right, so please check out on that. So I see 2 hands raised. So Suman, you can.
Okay, thank you very much. So my question is directed to Hussein. So regarding UC Berkeley, when you visit like the Mastercard scholarship website at UC Berkeley, so they put all the eligible master's programs that they will be funding for the academic year. So my course, my background is in electrical engineering, so wireless communication and signal processing, data science, those kind of stuff. So they put there for my program, the master's program, UC Berkeley, the official graduate website, the master's website for my program. They put there that the master's in electrical engineering for the research, specific research field that I'm interested in, they do not encourage people who are not enrolled at UC Berkeley to apply, because it's mostly available for undergraduate seniors at UC Berkeley. And honestly, I think I saw an article where they say like they might actually take only 10 additional students from like 10 additional international students, which makes that master's program highly competitive. That is just that one before even the Mastercard application. So that kind of like puts me off a bit on applying to UC Berkeley. And then, so I was just getting your opinion. You are there if you have heard of anything about that or on how exactly it is. Because it's actually on the website, they put it at the bottom. They highly encourage only those undergraduate students at UC Berkeley to apply.
Okay. Yes, I'm on the page where it is that the master's program needed require like eligible. So what I'm finding, I can find electrical engineering there. So what
Yeah.
I know and based on my understanding, maybe I will definitely ask for that from maybe the secretariat like that. If I have, because we are still with them yesterday at a boot camp. So one thing is this: any program you find here listed are the programs that once you get an admission and you're from sub-Saharan Africa, your application will be sent to Mastercard. That's the way it's been put here. In my own time then in 2021, when I applied to, there's a way to do like a dual program. I wanted to do city planning and civil engineering together. I remember during my interview, I was asked that they have funding to pay for only 1 year. They wanted to treat me. Later I realized it because it's like 2 years program. They fund up to 2 years program, yeah, for a masters. So they asked me like they have planning to fund only the city planning part of my program. How will I pay for the civil engineering part? So then I was caught off guard because I didn't even know what to say. So I gave them some stuff. So for me, I will advise you to read through again, and I will maybe ask or let it get my contact and follow me on LinkedIn. I will ask about it. But any program that is listed here will surely get funded. That's all I know for now.
Yeah, so we're going to be rounding up in like 10
Thank
minutes.
you very much.
Yeah, in like
Yeah.
10 minutes. So
And one thing I want to say about the English requirements, I think I have not mentioned this. For the English requirements in Berkeley, if your first language or let's say your legal franca is English, you'll be waived. For Nigerians, we don't. Though if you have it, it's good, but it's not a requirement for you to get admission to UC Berkeley. So long you're a Nigerian, you'll be waived. And GRE also, depending on the department, it's also waived. For my department, they didn't require GRE, and none of the scholars that are selected have GRE. So, and there's a clause for MBA students. MBA is very expensive. Let me put it that way. So you need to first of all secure the HAS Business School Scholarship to add to your Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, so that the two scholarships will be funding your program. If you come to Berkeley, you see how ours is really, they're very tush. Let me put it that way. So it's very expensive.
okay, yeah. So GRE, okay, GRE is not required for Cambridge. Thank you so much, Angela. All right, so I think there's another question. How do you get inspired to craft an appealing essay? Honestly, there are so many resources on LinkedIn you can check out for on how to write essays. I can recommend a couple of persons. Yeah, I don't want to mention names now so that it doesn't look like I'm promoting one person over another. So, but please feel free to check out on LinkedIn. Sorry, on
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is the best resource for any scholarship you're applying for. Any scholarship, just type the name of the scholarship, and you will see some scholars that have actually posted there. Possibly, I might be posting this session on YouTube as well. So you're going to get the notification on LinkedIn. All right. So yeah, aside those questions, I think we've actually gotten all the questions. Still, can I still apply if I'm currently studying for masters or?
Yeah, I've answered that. I've answered that.
Okay, yeah. All right. So thank you so much. Yeah, Mutale Banda, please unmute yourself, please.
Thank you. So my question is about the international GPA for UC Berkeley. I saw that they wanted us to convert our results to the international scale. For example, my university doesn't have the 4.0 GPA scale, but I don't know how to use that calculator. So maybe you can talk about it just a bit. I don't know if you used it yourself.
Yes, for the conversion of your CGPA to the 4.0 scale, I think there is an online stuff like that can help you to do that. Just put in your CGPA in 5.0 scale, you pick the scale, and to convert it automatically to the 4.0 scale. There's a link online. I think I found it there about them. Maybe just follow me on LinkedIn. If I have, I'll just search it and send it to you. But it's something you can get online, and most people do use the West evaluation. So I will now advise you to go to the route of West, or particularly, was it even on the West that I did it, but not like the one you get the original certificate. Yeah. So go on West, and maybe there's a way you can do that quick calculation. I think it's on.
Yeah,
it's on West.
there's so much information like on YouTube, like sorry, online. Just it's so much you can do with Google. Even ChatGPT, you can ask them some questions and bring these things out for you. Like these are the very important places to use ChatGPT.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so we are soon going to be logged off. So I really want to thank Adekumi and Miku for bringing me on this session. Because this is the Mastercard spirit, the spirit of give back, and I'm very happy. I feel so terrible that we have about 40 people who couldn't join
like
after the first one. We had almost 100 people here earlier, and it's so painful. But I just hope that I was able to deliver value to people who are here. And if you have any questions, if you're applying to Cambridge and you have any questions, please, relevant questions, I beg you in the name of God, you can send them to my LinkedIn DM, and I usually super busy, but when I get the time, I would definitely like try to respond. Maybe if you're applying and you're stuck, just need to confirm something, you can hit me up and I'll respond, when I get the time for sure. I may not respond immediately, but I'll definitely respond. And I had somebody come to me and say, I don't want to apply to Cambridge, feels like out of reach. I mean, I'm here so you can be here. Of course, I don't want to say there's nothing special. There's everything special. It's Cambridge, but you can get in just like every other person. There are currently about 46 scholars from Africa here. And guess what? Mastercard in Cambridge has increased. The goal is to educate 500 scholars in Cambridge by 2030. So next year, Mastercard Cambridge is taking in 70 scholars. 70. So there is room for you to come. But if you're from Nigeria or from West Africa, generally, just know that the competition is tight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very tight.
Yes.
Sorry, 1,000 applications from Nigeria, and we are 13 Nigerian cohort. The Mastercard is having a mentors mentee program, for the whole of Africa, and this program is running in sessions. And the West African session for 100 registrations has been filled like 4, getting to 5 now. So you can imagine how much people from West Africa. So from West Africa, this is not like to discourage you, but it's just to let you know that you're up against a lot of competition, and it's time for you to really put in your best. It's so good to be here. Thank you, Hussein. Thank you, Ademiko. And thank you.
Hussein, do you want to?
Same here. I just have to thank you for bringing me up on board, because I have a lot of people asking for this same opportunity, and it's not really possible for me to be answering everybody one by one. I'm so much happy that at least I've been able to answer some questions, and it has reached a lot of good people. So for me, I feel kind of relieved and knowing that, even because this is not recorded, I would have been so much happy that any other person that wants to ask about the scholarship could easily watch the videos at their own, maybe like time. So maybe next time if you have a recorded session, just let me know on time so I can come over again and do this same thing, because I can't get tired of doing it. Because to me, one thing I get to understand is like we need more people to get this scholarship. Do you know why? The problem of Africa is so much. We need to develop ourselves. We need more talents to be developed to solve our problem in Africa. I can't do all of this thing alone. Even though they give me every opportunity I need, I can't come and die. So we need you guys to come and support us and apply to this scholarship and get it. So we can accelerate the sustainable development we're all talking about. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I am so grateful and happy.
We have a few seconds. You have a few seconds more. So Hussein, thank you so much. Angela, thank you. Some people are asking personal questions and some other questions. You can just ask those questions via their LinkedIn, and I'm sure they would be very, very happy to connect. So you can do the same name they have on their screen is the same name as far as I'm concerned, and myself too. So thank you so much guys for joining. There's another session possibly they might be coming on board too. You should just check out my LinkedIn as well. Yeah, Angela is like, yeah. So seriously, it's tight here. This schedule of
Yeah, and
everyone
by
is
the way,
very
now you
tight.
can
I
check
mean,
If I,
you
if
can check
yeah.
mcfcamp.com or check my LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Mastercard Foundation is organizing like a mentorship session. Although for West Africa, I think it got all filled up. I think they've created another new one after like 4 or 5, because somebody just told me today that they were able to register for this session for next Saturday. So if you can, just go there and register. And that's if you're interested in Cambridge and you're able to talk to scholars who are here, that will give you insight on what it's like applying directly to Cambridge. So yeah, mcfcamp.com or check my LinkedIn. It's somewhere there on the post that I made. Thank you so much.
Yep. All right. Thank you
I
so
wish
much.
you all
guys.
the best.
Yep. Yep.
And I hope to see a lot of you in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, guys.
Have a good night.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Yeah. Take care of yourself, guys. Yeah.